Just now joining us, that's okay because we're just now starting. Today we're talking about ZVT with Darkforce, and I'm going to go get him on the call right now. Or so I thought. Okay, maybe we need to hold off on that. So I just talked to Darkforce and we tested the sound and everything was good, and then he didn't answer my call. So so sit tight, and we'll try again in just a couple seconds.
Hi.
Hey, Darkforce, how are you, man?
Fine.
Sorry about that.
My
Okay.
Skype doesn't ring when you call. That's why I didn't answer immediately.
Not a big deal. So, anyway, well, thank you for coming on the show. First of all, I'm really excited to have you here. I'm a huge fan of European Zerg players because you guys have such a unique style. And you know, we had Demaga on Monday or Tuesday, one of those days, and talked about ZVZ with him, and that was just a real, that was a blast, a lot of fun. He's a really great player.
Yeah, Demaga is also very good at ZVZ.
Man, no joke. I would bust out the Demaga quotes, but I feel like I would butcher the accent. But man, he was good. Anyways, and then you know, we're gonna have Rhett on tomorrow to talk about ZVP, and he's one of the few guys in the world who seems to be able to win in that matchup. And here we are today with you to talk about ZVT. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
No problem.
Before we start, I would love to give you an opportunity to just tell everybody who you are. So if you would be so kind, just who is Darkforce and why should we care?
Well, my name is Jonathan, but most people call me Johnny. And yeah, well, I've been playing from day one of the beta on, and yeah, I've basically become quite good because I just practice a lot. I didn't play Warcraft or Brood War before. I just played some MMO, Darkfall to be more precise. Probably no one knows it, but anyway. And yeah, I'm in Team Alternate, a German team, which is not that well known internationally, I think, but most people will probably know soccer as well.
Uh-huh.
And yeah.
Well, for somebody who doesn't have really any background in Brood War, you've made a real splash in the foreign scene. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you qualified for the TSL, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. Ah, damn it. How dare I get that so wrong. I know
No.
that you were close on the points, weren't you?
No, I think it was quite a bit missing, and the last qualifier I was ill, so I didn't even play.
Oh.
And,
well, I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth then because I got that way wrong. But in spite of that, you've been putting up good results everywhere you've been playing, and more importantly, you have kind of a unique, well, I shouldn't say completely unique, but you definitely have style when it comes to your ZVT, right?
well, to be honest, I rarely watch other people's CVT except for the GSL, so I'm not sure what other Europeans, how other Europeans play CVT, and well, I've kind of just created my own builds, and yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Do you have a general ZVT philosophy that you would like to kind of share with us before we get started here today?
Well, in general, I don't attack very often, and if I attack, it's usually some kind of all-in. And yeah, I just play very solid. I basically play hedge first almost all the time. Recently, I've been practicing some 14 gas, 14 pool again, just so I can at least play 2 build orders. But for a long time, before Hedge first, from the time on, from release till like the Rex before depot fix, I just played 14 gas, 14 pool, and after that I just played Hedge first all the time. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of like really tricky play or fancy stuff and that kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Definitely playing solid.
Yeah.
I think that's probably
but
something.
of course, I sometimes also mix in some all-ins, but then I kind of have like good reasons to do it and
Right.
and not just do it randomly.
Right. Yeah, I think that general philosophy of I'm just going to play solid is something that every top Zerg player in the world kind of shares. You don't really see any cheesy Zergs getting very far in anything.
Yeah, that's quite true. Well, cheesing with Zerg is not that great, but
Yeah.
it can work. It can work, especially because people are getting greedier and greedier against Zerg.
Yep, I agree. All right, so Darkforce, I have. I want to ask you one more question. I had Rhett on my show a long time ago, back in the very beginning, and ever since I've kind of sort of kept in touch with him, and I try to bounce ideas off him from time to time. And I've become a big fan of the Infestor in ZVT. And he says, well, if you like Infestor play, you should watch Darkforce. Before we get started, will you tell us a little bit?
Well, that surprises me, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I like late game Infestor play, but I'm like one of the people who will. Well, I'm not flaming, but I really hate all the people who say you should go 1 base or 2 base Infestor and that kind of stuff.
Really?
I really think you need at least 3 bases to have enough gas to take to Infestors.
All right. When you get Infestors out, what is your goal? How do you use them?
Well, I use them to fungal Marines,
Mm-hmm.
or against like Hellion Thor. I use them together with roaches for neuroparasite, but I mean Hellion Thor is not very common.
No.
And yeah, in late game, I mean basically I use the Infestors to once I have my 3rd base, I start the infestation pit and then start taking to lair and getting Infestors. And my aim is basically to use them to delay the push and, well, of course, fungal Marines to kill them with Banelings. And then in the late game, I use them together with Broodlords and Corruptors, to finish off the opponent. Because at some point, I need to attack. And yeah, if there was no chance to attack earlier, I just do it with Infestor, Broodlord, and Corruptors. There's no problem to split the map with that composition, and then you just slowly push and spam tons of infested Terrans, and well, at some point you will wear him down.
Okay, all right. I'm excited to kind of see it in action, and I guess we'll just kind of let you talk us through the mid game, because we kind of skipped that whole mid game part in this little philosophy talk. But I've been trying to invite you to my party, but you keep declining my invitations.
Oops. Sorry, it's just a habit. I just always click decline immediately.
It's
because
okay.
so many people invite me to parties randomly, and yeah.
That's funny. All right, well, I'm going to put us on the MLG maps because I think close position is silly.
Very good.
We're going to start on MLG Metalopolis. I've got a Terran player lined up for you here, Gomas. He's about 3,900 Master League.
Yeah, I've played him before.
Awesome. And he's agreed to kind of take part with us today, so shout out to him and thank you to him.
So I can spawn close air and cross, right?
Correct. No close ground.
Okay.
Now, I have no idea how he is going to play. I don't know if he likes to macro. I don't know if he likes to cheese. So you're going to have your work cut out for you in that regard. And the thing I always say to guys is, as we play these first couple games, I'm going to be asking you questions and talking to you. If at any point you feel like I'm distracting you, just tell me to shut up, and
I will just not answer anymore.
That's totally cool, and I'll just sit back and. Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Sounded like you fell out of your chair.
No, I was just getting rid of my pullover because I can't play when I have a pullover on.
All right. Fair enough. All right, are you ready, sir?
Yeah, go.
All right. So like I said, if I get distracting, just tell me to shut up. And the whole idea here is for us to just get inside the head of Darkforce a little bit and see how you play your game.
Yeah, I might have to pause at some point to adjust the sound, because if it's too loud, I can't hear you anymore when there's fighting going on.
No problem.
So we'll see.
So you said that you're a fan of Hatchery First.
Yeah, definitely going to play Hatch First.
And there's definitely a couple ways to go about Hatch First. Are you going to be going for like a 15 hatch or anything
Yeah,
earlier?
15, okay. and then gas before pool.
Okay, that's different.
I always do that on Metalopolis when it's not 2 racks, because then I don't need roaches or spine crawlers against Hellions. And I hate to build roaches or spine crawlers.
I feel like Hellion plays have gotten very, very common, at least on the North American server. I know before the show today, I probably played 20 games, and I'm pretty sure I lost 18 of them. And a lot of it was to Hellion harass.
Yeah, well, I think it's with gas before pool, you have the speed and time to, so you don't have to defend with roaches or slow links.
Okay.
To be honest, I've never played. Okay, very nice. So I'm going to immediately send away the Overlord and just check whether he's taking gas. Everything else is unimportant.
Okay.
And maybe second Overlord to the natural, so I see whether he's building bunkers somewhere sneaky. Oh God. It's so hard to talk while playing.
That's okay. It's okay. Don't feel like you have to. If it gets too quiet, I'll just start bugging you. Most everybody watching understands what they're seeing, and they just think it's a treat to watch Darkforce come play on stream.
Okay, now I see his. Oh, that's quite early gas. When I start the hatch, his rack should be at about 50%. But anyway, I play gas first against his gas.
Mm-hmm.
If he wouldn't have taken gas, I would have went pool first.
Okay, and that's just in case of 2 racks. You want to be able to have lings. You want to be able to.
Yeah. It's you lose quite some minerals if you go gas first, because you also mine gas then, and then it's very difficult to defend against 2 racks. And that's why I didn't go. No, I will. Oops. No, I'm just checking whether he actually mines gas or whether he just tricked me, but I saw his SCV mining, so it's all good. I built another drone after the Overlord because he went gas first. I wouldn't do that against 2 racks, and I sometimes don't do it against other stuff, but I have the impression for some reason that he's not going to get very aggressive, so I can get one more drone in, and now put the SCVs of gas. Sorry, the drones, of course, and yeah, just build 2 links and.
And you've only got a single queen building right now.
Yeah, now the second queen is building, of course.
Okay.
Oops, I didn't build the drone engine. Yeah, now just drones to. Fuck, I hate Reapers.
I think all Zerg players hate Reapers.
Yeah, well, it's not that big of a problem. I guess I will lose that one drone now. But I will use the queens to defend against his small bunker attack. I think it should be fine. Also going to put drones back into gas. I usually do that around 30 or 31, but in this case it's yeah, should be around the same time as usual. Anyway. No, I almost have speed done, and I'm not sure, he probably played some 1 Reaper expand. I'm gonna check again whether he took a second gas. And as soon as speed finishes, I'm going to move out with the Zerglings.
Now, what does the second gas tell us?
Well, probably not 1 Reaper expand. I also forgot an Overlord. Great.